now my privilege to introduce our keynote speaker. Dr. David Tizzard holds a PhD in Korean Studies and serves as a professor, writer, columnist, and cultural commentator whose works explore Korean society, identity, and contemporary culture. Through his academic work, public writing, and media appearances, he has consistently encouraged thoughtful dialogue about the evolving cultural landscape of Korea. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to have with us Dr. David Tizzard.
안녕하세요, 여러분. 만나서 반갑습니다. 갑자기 한국어로 하고 싶은데 스피치는 영어로 준비했어요. 그래서 그냥 한국어로는 야르, 영크크 이만큼 말했습니다. Also, I think it should be the young children. It should be the young adults that won awards that should be up here speaking. And I would like to congratulate you all for being published and doing that. It's wonderful. I find myself very embarrassed, 갑자기, to be standing here in front of you. Why am I here? What am I doing here? Well, for those that don't know, I have to write a column every week in the national newspaper. 주말마다 그 국가 신문에 개인 칼럼을 써야 해요. 쉽지 않아요, 사실. It's not easy, but writing every week, for so many people, I'm always just looking for that one phrase, that one little bit of magic. I know it can't always be a home run, it can't always be brilliant. And when you write, you might not always win an award, you might not always get your photo taken with men with funny hats, but you should continue writing because we're looking for that. And through all the writing that I do, sometimes I do achieve that thing, the struggle, the self-doubt, the hangovers, the drinking. Please don't drink. But you'll get there. We become blessed sometimes. The muses sing, inspiration hits us, and we're able to write a sentence, one sentence that rings true, that sounds like it's a cloud on a misty day. We write one sentence and it sounds like the frog singing at the start of summer. And we push through all the cliches and we get through it, and we have the opportunity to create something with art. It's almost like the muses sing to us, and I don't mean this in a religious sense, although of course some will take it to mean a religious sense, but often our most popular or our successful piece of writing, our piece of anything, will be the one that we least expect. And the ones that we pour our heart into and the ones that we work really hard, sometimes people will look at it and go, yeah, and? 그래서? And it's dreadfully unfair, actually. Art and writing is dreadfully unfair. You'll write wonderful pieces and people won't care about them. And you'll write these wonderful things and win an award, and yet it's me up here speaking. That doesn't make sense. It should be you, and I want to hear your voices. But keep doing it. Throw your fingers to the keyboard, throw your pen to the paper, and look for that one chance, that one moment of wonder where we capture the universe. You probably already might know it, but William Blake once said, to see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. William Shakespeare made his character of Hamlet say, "Oh God, I could be bound in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space, were it not that I have bad dreams." I have bad dreams. I dream of snakes and sharks and missing deadlines and being late for things and lots of essays to mark. Please continue to read as much as you write. I hope that you will recount the majesty of Nabokov, the dizzying magical realism of Jorge Luis Borges, the wit of Terry Pratchett, or the sublime prose of, and I hate to say this word with a Korean audience, Natsume Soseki. It's not a bad word. It can dwarf us to think that we are attempting the same thing as them, but it can also inspire us. Because as humans, we have what Shakespeare and Nabokov and these people have. We have imagination, and we have love, and we have fear, we have anger, we have jealousy, compassion, we have the turbulence that grips us within, It was in the work of Gabriel Garcia Marquez and young people here today. That same thing is in you. There is no difference. I hope this was the one line out of my speech that I wrote that I was most proud of, so I'll probably read it twice to you. I hope that you read things that make you feel small and write things that make you feel enormous. I hope that you read things that make you feel small. How did somebody create this? They are genius. I am incomprehensible compared to them. And I hope you feel that from their majesty, but then I hope that you write things that make you feel enormous, make you feel powerful, make you feel that your life, your writing, your prose is worth something. Now, I do have a slight confession to make in that Marshall McLuhan said this, the medium is the message, that unlike many of you young people today, I grew up without the internet. 라떼는 말이야. 옛날에 인터넷이 없었고, 스마트폰 당연히도 없고. And so these dark circles that I still contain today, these were earned by staying up late every night reading books. My parents would come in the morning and I would be under the covers reading because reading was all I had. I didn't have anything else. Now, of course, I'm happy to have a smartphone today. I'm happy to search information quickly as I run into lectures, to message my mum and to send photos to my kids. But I fear somewhat that our society has lost the art of reading somewhat. And it's not just among children, it's among adults too. I spend time at universities and coffee shops and I see parents and professors gazing wistfully into the blue hue of the algorithm as it sucks them in deeper to reels of dogs dancing, of political intrigue, and lots of AI strawberry makchang drama that I don't quite understand, but I'm sure some of you do. So be careful of those things. Read. And when you read, that will help you. And read in public, read on the subway, read when you're with your parents, read on the airplane. And in doing so, I hope you can be an inspiration to people. You can be a magician. You can be a person that reminds us and other people that stories, reading words, literature is quite simply who we are as humans, maybe who we were, perhaps who we should be. We are, as humans, we are storytellers, and those stories are part of our humanity. And what you have done in telling your stories to these people here is to be human, and that transcends language, it transcends ethnicity. When I read Sally Rooney, I become a young Irish woman struggling with sex. When I read Mo Yan, I understand what it is to be a Chinese peasant amidst revolution. And when I read Hwang Sok-yong, I find myself a blue-collar Korean fighting for food in what are known locally here as the Taldongne, part of the Minjung. I am thrust out of my own aging English body, and I live the lives of other people, characters and figures who are, as John Donne, as well as the Buddhists and Hindus teach us, they are me and they are you. Even as high school students, you write about identity and 정체성, and it becomes more important to you. Remember that you are not alone, you are human. No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. Any man's death diminishes me because I am involved in mankind, and therefore never send to know for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. Writing makes us human, stories remind us who we are, and so I implore you to find your humanity and your connection to those around you through words and language. Don't use it as a box to limit yourself. Be a golden retriever, be a puddle of sweat, be the rumor, be the ray of light, be borders in between. And remember, because you are human, you should write. To write is human. Dogs don't write novels. Kangaroos don't compose sonnets. Giraffes don't construct haikus. And fish, well, according to a wonderful book I read last year, fish don't exist. Yesterday I sat in my garden and I read J.M. Coetzee's Waiting for the Barbarians. And it was wonderful because I was no longer in Gangwon-do. I was in a timeless place, transported emotionally, a timeless location, brought to life by Coetzee so evocatively. I was transformed, transfixed, transgendered even at times. I was rereading the book for the second time, inspired by an interview I saw by one of my favorite Korean directors and writers, Lee Chang-dong Gamdok-dim. He spoke of the book, Lee Chang-dong, and he said this: "We set borders, dismissed the others as barbarians, and used the fear of barbarians to create more barbarians among us. With books, we break down borders, and every writer in this room has the opportunity to perform a small miracle, to take a stranger and make them familiar, to take a life unlike our own and discover ourselves within it, to turn barbarians into friends." So, young children, young adults, the future of our society, go and be free. Throw your verbs, experiment with the nouns, and for heaven's sake, please be nice to the adjectives. They need your treatment. They've had a very long day. Write until you understand that the story you are telling is not just yours, it's ours. That's a wonderful thing. 조금 길게 말했는데 미안합니다. 그래도 앞으로 젊은 사람들이 더 깊게 들 수 있다면 좋겠다고 생각합니다. 그리고 존경합니다. 고맙습니다.